This is a nice coffee mug that Crispy got me for Christmas. Oh, I just got a text from Crispy. What is the part of the line called that you should to attach to braid? The leader line. Yeah, I thought that's what it was named, but I couldn't remember. I haven't had it since I snapped it too many times. I've heard and read it's suggested to have a 14-foot leader. That long, a 14-foot leader? Twice the length of your rod length. Maybe I should make a leader line video. You can include that in the line attaching line to a spinning reel video. Or too much info in one video? Maybe, maybe not. Or after texting Crispy and telling her that her leader line should be 14 feet long, I'm getting kind of curious and I kind of wanted to look some stuff up. See what these professionals say about what the leader length should be. Brian Latimer.
The question at hand here is, how long should your leader length be? For me, it's real simple. This is how I choose my leader length right here. I'll take my spool of line, I'll pull it out like this, and I'll go 1, as long as I can, so I can reach. I'll go 2. That's it.
Hold on a second. Brian Latimer is telling you guys, everyone, pull it out this far, and then pull it out again, right? That depends on how tall you are. I was thinking he's got to be 6 feet. So I looked it up, and he's 5'10", right? So I don't know if you know this, but if you put your hands out as straight as you can, fingertip to fingertip, that is your height. That's why I'm looking at his height. So he's 5'10", and you double that. So he's pulling out 11 feet, 8 inches of line, and that's his leader. Next, I looked at Brandon Polinick. Let's see what he had to say about this leader length situation.
Hey everyone, Brandon Polinick here. How long is your Tatsu leader? There's a lot of guys that'll like to have their knot outside of their spool, but as you can see right here, I actually hold my knot inside the spool.
So what Brandon just told us there, he didn't tell us the length. Basically, he said he wants the knot for the leader line on his spool. He goes on to talk about why. We want to know how long it is. It all depends on how long your rod is. All that you're measuring out is what he's saying. Let's say he has a 7-foot rod. 7 feet, 7 feet, 14. Pretty simple math. 14, maybe 15, somewhere in there. So he's using like a 15-foot leader length on that rod. What do we got next? Gene Jensen.
How long should my fluorocarbon leader be to my braided line? And so what I usually recommend is that you make it at least twice the length of your rod.
So he just said twice the length of your rod. It's kind of what that's what I said, right? It's what Polinick said. But then Jensen goes on to say he doesn't want it going through that last guide, which is opposite of what Brandon said. What are we supposed to do here? Let's go to Chad Hoover.
What is my leader length? You want your leader to be just shy of going into the top guide. 3 to 4 foot long.
Chad Hoover just said 3 to 4 foot long leader line. So we have like 15 foot to 3 to 4 foot so far. Matt Steffen.
I think you want to do at least a leader that's as long as 2 rod lengths. So if you're throwing a 7-foot rod, I'm throwing at least a 14-foot leader.
Long leader, right? 14, 15 feet. So what all those fellas just said was, it's important to have leader line if you have braid, so the fish can't see the braid. There's definitely some different opinions with these guys about leader length. They all agreed the leader line, it's so the fish don't see the braid. The next question that popped in my head was, how far can a bass see? Due to biological and environmental constraints, a bass can see roughly 50 feet in optimal conditions. If one were to attempt to conceptualize this, it would not be linearly up from the bottom, but rather a sphere stretching out in all directions around the fish. So bass can see in 50 feet, but they're not saying it's like in a straight line because they're not binocular, they're monocular. They can see in front of them, but they can also see on both sides at the same time. So is it 50 feet on this side and 50 feet on this side, front and back in like every direction? Wouldn't that be like 50, 50, that's more like 100 feet, right? How big's your leader supposed to be?